So sorry children, due to some urgency I have to stop that video at that same point. Now let us begin with the second topic, that is nesting habits of birds. Now what is nesting habit? Like we people are making our houses to live inside to protect ourselves from the bad weather. Like nowadays it's a very heavy rainfall days, right? So what we do? Are we standing outside somewhere? No, we are inside our homes. In the same way, the birds or any kind of other animals are also preparing their nest, which is their home, to protect themselves from the bad weather or from the enemies or any kind of harsh conditions, right? So, nesting habits of birds. Like what kind of birds are making a nest, with what things or what material are required to make the nest. In this topic we will understand these, and secondly we will see some of the different types of nests that birds are preparing for themselves. Now see, birds build nest to lay their eggs. Why they are making the nest? So that they can lay the eggs there and take care of their young ones. They use things like leaves, twigs, grass, feathers, wool, cotton, rags, mud and pebbles to build their nest. So these are so many things which are mentioned here with which the birds are making their nest. Like leaves, dry leaves, green leaves, birds are using. Twigs. Twigs are the small, very few little branches of trees which are dried up. Grass, whether it is green, whether it is dried up, they use both. Feathers you already know, the wings of different birds. Wool, cotton, rags mean the different kind of clothes which is already in a shaggy position, right, which is not good to use. They use that kind of rags. Next is mud. Mud you already know, the soil. Pebbles are the smooth stones, right? Pebbles are the smooth stones to build their nest. The nests are built in safe and hidden places like rooftops. Rooftops are like the terrace. Ceiling fans, old buildings, poles, like many of the birds make their nest just above the electricity pole, right? Hollows of trees like woodpecker, parrot, hoop, they are climbing the trees, and whatever they found inside it they eat it also. And if they found it sufficient for themselves, good for themselves, comfy for themselves, they use it like a nest over there. In bushes to stay protected from enemies and bad weather. The eggs hatch in the nest. Baby birds stay in the nest till they learn to fly. Now when they lay the eggs, the baby birds are staying inside the nest to protect themselves, and until they learn flying they still remain in the nest only, and the mother bird is taking care of it or the father bird is taking care of it. Different birds build different types of nest. Now let us understand about different types of nest. This is the scrape nest. Scrape nests are shallow depressions. Now shallow depressions means, shallow means which is not very deep. Which is not very deep. Just a little bit, a pit you can say. Depression means an empty place or a small pit you can say, on the ground or in the leaf litter. Leaf litter means whereas there is a huge pile of leaves. Sometimes dried leaves fall on the ground of the tree and there is a huge pile of leaves get together. That is known as leaf litter. They are sometimes lined with the leaves, grasses, small stones or feather. So scrape nests are made with the help of leaves, grass, small stones or feathers. Birds like vulture, quail, penguin and ostrich, these are the examples of the birds which make the scrape nest, right? Penguins one thing very specifically I will tell, that penguins are living in the region of polar, right? Polar regions they are residing, where there are no grass, no trees, very less vegetation is there. So they are not having wool, cotton, or any kind of twig or leaves there. What they do is, to make a nest is, they collect the stones and pebbles and make a nest with the help of them. They collect the stones and smooth small stones, put it at one place, and they use it as a nest, right? Now let's come here. Next topic is the burrow nest. The birds like swallow and kingfisher build burrow nest. Now see, the picture is given already that it's a kingfisher and the swallow nest, which is making the burrow nest. Burrow is like a tunnel, right? These birds dig the ground with their bills. Bills, I already told you, bill, rostrum or beak are the same thing, and push the soil out of the cavity by shuffling their feet, by making the soil out of the tunnel, out of the burrow, out of the ground cavity, right? So in this way they are digging the grounds, or they are making it with the help of with their beaks, right? Next is the cavity nest. Birds like woodpecker, owl and parrot make a cavity in a living or a dead tree to form cavity nest. Now see, woodpecker is climbing up the tree and it's a hole there. It's an empty place there, right? So it's a cavity. Whenever there is an empty place, we can say it in cavity, right? So they make the nest in these kind of cavities, empty places. Woodpeckers use their chisel-like beaks to dig out their cavity nest. Now what the woodpeckers are doing? They are pecking the empty places. Pecking means to dig it with the help of this type of a beak, right, to make the cavity nest. Next are the cupped nest. Cupped nest, why it is known as cup nest? Because it is looking like a cup. And cupped nests are made by hummingbird, tailor bird. Now hummingbird and tailor birds are very small in size, right? So they sew the leaves, like see, they can sew the leaves with the help of thread or some kind of hair, like these things, and they sew it and make a cup-like shaped nest. They are mostly made up of grass and have a deep depression for the eggs. Now they are not having shallow depression, they are having deep depression, right? Means they are deep inside it to lay the eggs. The tailor bird uses its beak like a needle. Now, as I told you earlier, that tailor bird is using its beak like a needle to sew the leaves, to make it a cup shaped, right? It also uses things like thread and wool to sew the leaves. Now see, it can use thread also, it can use wool also, it can use hair also to sew it. See, it can sew it. This is why this is called the tailor bird. As I already mentioned, why this bird is known as. Now see, tailors are doing what? They are sewing your clothes. They are stitching your clothes, right? So in the same case, in the same manner, the tailor bird is also stitching the leaves within so that it can lay the eggs. Now next is, last one is pendant nest. Now see, your all mothers are having some kind of necklace wearing in the neck. You can see right now also, right? So they are like pendants. One chain is there and there is a hanging around it, right? They are known as pendants. So when the nest in this form, a hanging form, this type of nest is known as pendant nest. They are built by weaver bird. Now weaver bird and sunbirds using twigs, straw and grass to to weave these kind of nest. The nest is very beautiful and strong and hangs from the branch of a tree. This is a tunnel-like opening at the bottom of the nest through which the bird enters its nest. Now see, there are two types of opening, one at the end and one at this side. There are two entries. One is a false entry and other is a true entry. Now why they are making two entries for one nest? So that they can protect their children, protect their baby birds from the enemy's entry, right? Now see what will happen. If we would be a weaver bird, we would be an enemy, we would directly enter from this place, right? So when like a snake enters from this entry, it could not find anything and it could return back. But when the weaver mother bird or the weaver father bird is coming, they will always enter from the downside, because it will directly take them to the depression of their nest, which is true one, in which the eggs are there in actual, right? So this is a tunnel-like opening at the bottom of the nest through which the bird enters in its nest. Now the last topic is looking after the young ones. Bird lay their eggs in the nest. It is interesting to learn that one of the parents sit on the eggs to keep them warm, while the other protect them from the enemies. Now see, birds are laying egg into the nest. One bird is taking care of the baby eggs, and the other birds are going and feed them up, right? So that they can go turn wise. One mother bird is sitting on the eggs which are laid, and the father bird has gone out in the search of food, and they collect the food and feed the mother bird also, right? After a few days, young birds come out of the eggs. This process is called hatching. Now what will happen after some time? After a few days, the birds from the eggs, or the baby birds from the eggs, they will come out, right? It will break. The eggs will break. The breaking of the egg after a few days, this is called hatching. The baby birds are weak and featherless, and their eyes are closed. Now I think you might have seen any bird around your home or somewhere else. They are very weak and they are not good looking. They are very thin skinned, and all their nerves can be are visible, right? So they are not looking very nice, but as they grow up, they looks very cute, they looks very nice, beautiful. The parents look after them, feed them and keep them warm. The babies grow very fast and develop strength and feathers. Now parents are looking after them, and they feed them also. At the same time, they keep them warm as well. The babies grow very fast and develop strength and feathers. Now when the babies grow for 1 or 2 weeks, they start growing their feathers and the strength so that they can fly easily. Soon they learn to fly and begin to search food on their own. Now when they are grown up, they leave the nest of the parents and they go and make their own nest, right? And in the same case, they again give birth to their own young ones. Now this was all about the chapter. Any doubt to any child, they can ask me during the period time, that is from 8 a.m. to 8:40 a.m. I would be present there. Any doubt you can ask me. And after this, I am sending you writing work also, so that you can write 1 or 2 questions only, right, from this chapter. Okay, beta, take care. Bye-bye.